Five Out Basketball, five segments, five takes. This is the podcast for NBA conversations. This is Five Out Basketball, and it starts in 3, 2, 1.
But want to know what we do know?
What do we know?
The Clippers
What do
are
we know,
going to have a new look next season. The Clippers, for what seemed like needed to happen for eternity now, have a rebrand. And I'm going to go first. I am a massive fan. There's been a lot of debate on Twitter about the logo and the jerseys and all that. I love it. I think the logo was accidentally good. I didn't think they mean to make it this good because a Clipper is a ship and it looks like a battleship, which is hard.
Mhm.
And then I don't know what the lines are supposed to be, but it looks like you're aiming in a gun. That was not what their intention was at all, but it's hard. It was accidentally hard. And so I think the Clippers finally have a good logo, which is something I've never been able to say before.
Yeah. Is there more you wanted to add?
You can go and then we'll talk about jerseys and we'll talk about forwards.
I also like the new thing. I like the logo as well. Like people were like, "What? Why is it a ship?" And I'm like, "So y'all just don't know what a clipper is."
Yeah.
That's basically what it is. Because people thought they was gonna have like a barber clipper or something. Like, no, bro, that's not. Why would they do that?
Yeah,
Let's
like
be
Paul
honest.
George getting a fade is gonna be their logo, bro. Like, let's be
Like, come on,
serious.
bro,
Like,
be serious. So I like the logo. I'm not a huge fan of like those simplistic logos, but
uh
I'm not mad at it. I'll say that. I'm not mad at it.
it's definitely an improvement. And I'm also a fan of the jerseys. Like,
Mhm.
normally I don't like this, but like, I really like how the Los Angeles kind of like slants upwards. I think they pulled that off correctly. And I like the
Yeah.
colorways they're going with. I like the blue, I like the red, I like the white. It's not obviously the best in the NBA, but I think it's just been massive improvements all around, which makes me excited for the Clippers because their jerseys have historically sucked.
Outside of the Lob City era, I
Uh-huh.
love the Lob City era Clippers, like jerseys, the white one, the red one, the blue one. Like they had great jerseys then. Then they did a rebrand, and then it was like
Yeah.
it was for a while, and then I'm glad they're doing this now. Like I've always been a fan of. Okay, this is gonna be really specific, but I've always been
Okay.
a fan of like jerseys who have like the one color, then like this white band with another color. Like it's kind of hard
Oh,
to
I know what you're saying.
describe.
Yeah.
Like I've always liked jerseys that look like that. So looking at the jerseys, I like that. Like I like how it looks. Like I think it's really like, yo, we're the Clippers. Like you can tell, like it really stands out. And the colorway, obviously they've
Nice.
always had the white, blue, and red. You know, um, but it's always like I like this colorway or this makeup of the jersey with these colors. I think came out really well.
Yeah, and you couldn't have rebranded at a better time with them going into their new arena next season, which the court looks nice, but the Clippers wall is genuinely the coolest idea I've ever seen come from a stadium. I think they implemented it straight out of college. I think it's gonna be so exciting when you see like 5,000 people on a wall at the away end whenever they're shooting free throws. I think
Mhm.
that's incredible, and just the Clippers are heading in the right direction next season. I'm excited for them.
Yeah, me too. I like the idea of just making your own thing. Like they've kind of always been the Lakers low bro for a while, like sharing the same arena. When they look in the rafters, they're gonna see a bunch of Lakers jerseys hung up and championships hung up. And I think this is a good step. Like they're going in their new arena, which is another huge step. Like now they're finally away from the Lakers, and it's good to go to a new arena and even have your own new rebrand. I think that was the best idea they had. Like, going into a new arena with the same jerseys and stuff, it's like cool. The Warriors did that, right?
Hmm.
But with the Clippers, like it's like they're really trying to branch away from the Lakers, and I really respect that.
Yeah, absolutely. The Clippers are 100% going in the right direction. But I think me and Everton agree. Some other teams need to follow in this route and also go in a new direction with some rebrands. So me and Everton have a couple of teams that we think could use a rebrand. And I'm gonna start hot and I want to explain myself before I say this take. The
Okay.
logo here 100% needs to stay the same. This
Mm-hmm.
doesn't need to change. But the
Mm-hmm.
Chicago Bulls need a rebrand. The Bulls have had the same jerseys since the 1960s. They have not switched once. It's always
No.
been the black and white and sometimes the red colorway.
Mm-hmm.
And the logo is so historic, you can't change that. But
No.
at some point, you need new jerseys. You have to try something. Like the logo's historic. The Bulls jerseys aren't always considered historic. It's just I think they could use a rebrand. And as a Bulls fan, I want something new. I'm tired of the same old, same old. Just do not change the logo. It's the most historic logo in the NBA. That cannot change. But they need new jerseys badly.
Yeah, I agree. Like they've had it, the thing is, once you get used to it, it's kind of all you're used to. Like it'd be weird seeing the Bulls in new jerseys only because it's like I've only known them with these jerseys.
Mhm.
And obviously I hope they never change the logos because there's this new thing where people want to make things more simple and circle, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm just like, nah, bro, don't even do all that. Like, just leave the Bulls logo alone. If you want to change the jerseys, I'm not against it. I won't say I'm not against it. I don't know. For me, it's like I've always just known the Bulls with those jersey makeup, so I'd
Uh,
probably rather it stay only for that reason. But I guess when you get so used to something, you don't even want to see something new.
mhm.
So I like the idea. You're a Bulls fan, so I get that,
Yeah.
and that's probably a bigger part. Like you want to see some new things. So I'm not mad at that though.
It's just like I look at historic teams like the Lakers and the Celtics and the Knicks, and they've still been able to adapt and like maybe change their logo a little bit, but they've still gotten new jerseys, and those are like historic teams. So if they're able to pull it off, I think it's something the Bulls can pull off as well.
I agree. It's not like it's out of the cards, like they just can't do it. They if they want to, they could probably do it right now.
Yeah,
But
exactly. They got the bread.
um they have trust me, they have the money. Don't
Yeah,
get it twisted. Um for the team I picked, this is more of a logo thing, the Toronto Raptors.
that's a good
So
take.
I get their logo with the whole basketball with claws and stuff, but I missed a logo that legit had the Raptors in it.
Yeah.
And a lot of the teams I picked for the rebrand, it's strictly because the logo. Because like I
Mm.
think a lot of teams went too simple with this whole circle thing
With the
instead of like,
basketball.
yeah, like just like okay,
No,
we know y'all. It's an NBA team.
yeah.
We know that. Like make
Mm.
it look like it matches with the team. Like the only team that I can't say that for is like the Nuggets because I it'd be kind of stupid if they dead ass had a Nugget like logo.
Yeah.
But like the Raptors, I'm looking at it right now. Their Raptor logo was hard, bro. Like having a legit Raptor dribbling a basketball, like that's
Yeah.
hard, bro. Like why
Uh-huh.
go away from that? So I would definitely say that their jerseys aren't bad, so I'm not gonna go too hard on that. And plus, those are like relatively new jerseys, so they did do a rebrand recent. But I would just say go back to the old logo, bro. Like
Mhm.
I rather the old logo.
And I'm gonna bounce that reason off for my same exact reason for the next one. The
Hmm
Houston Rockets. Why are we in R? Like, why are we not a Rocket, man? Like, what are we doing? It's dumb. Their jerseys are also very plain and boring. I think this team could just use a whole rebrand. It can be a modern Rocket. You don't always have to go back to the old logo, but like
hmm
an H and an R, that is so boring. Who came up with that? And just, I'm sick of it. And the Rockets are a young team. Give them a rebrand. Just complete the identity.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Like, they're not a team I put down, but that's true. Like, I just feel like teams are just doing some things. Like, why is your logo a letter?
It's so boring.
Like, just put some like like I'm telling you, the only team I'll give a pass to is the Nuggets, because bro, you're not gonna make a logo a literal nugget,
Like,
bro.
yeah,
Like,
nah.
there's just no way you can do that. So I'm not gonna go on them, but like teams that have logo as like letters, like come on, bro, you could do so much more with than just all right.
Yeah.
Well, the Rockets are what, bro? You
Yeah.
didn't even try.
No, for real.
Like,
And
come
then
on,
do you
bro.
have another team? I have one more.
Yeah, I have another one. My other one was the Detroit Pistons.
Hmm.
Again, it's kind of the same thing. Why is it a circle?
Uh, it
Like,
just says Pistons.
just as Pistons, like, it just feels like a lot of these teams went from creative to simple. Like,
Yeah.
just if I wanted to make a logo, I could probably just go on some logo website, draw a circle,
Uh,
and type my name in it and say, "Hey, this is my team." No, bro,
yeah.
like, do something. I feel like these teams need to start, putting more like actions in it. Like, put a like the Celtics, they have Lucky. The
Uh,
Heat have a literal basketball on fire going through a hoop. That's
yeah.
cool. Like I just feel like teams need to start, stop being so simple with it and putting some more. And even for the Pistons, like even some new jerseys, I feel like would do them some
Uh,
justice. Like it's the new era. Like you've kind of had the same jerseys for a while now. Like I feel like it's a new era. You're trying to get away from this 8-50 record. Like
yeah.
just rebrand.
Absolutely. It's just, man, the old Pistons in the early 2000s, that stuff was hard. The logo with
hmm
like the horse, I want to say it's a Maverick, even though they're not the Mavericks, the jerseys they
Yeah.
had. That team had aura, no question. That's what
Yes.
Detroit's lacking because like they make some good draft picks. There's no aura in Detroit at
No
all.
aura.
Yeah, and that just needs to change. But
They need
Everton,
to. Oh yeah, go ahead.
What team has the worst aura in the NBA? I think this is so simple.
The worst aura,
Yeah.
the Wizards probably.
Fair shout. I somewhat like their logo. But the
Mm.
team with no aura, and it is the worst rebrand of all time, is the Utah Jazz. I
Oh, you
don't.
know what? I don't even know why I didn't say Utah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I know they just rebranded. They need to take their L on the chin and get this whole
That one
switch.
was terrible.
The logo suck. The jerseys suck. Everything's terrible.
It's
I'm looking
so
at their
bad.
logo and it's a yellow block.
It's
It's
so
disgusting.
it
It's
sucks.
horrendous.
Hmm.
The highlighter jerseys, everything in Utah needs to change. I feel so bad for Louis Markkinen. Get him out of here.
Get him out of
Utah
there,
is a
bro.
disgrace. I don't care if their fans are racist. Like they need to be repaid for this because this is their this is what happens when you get Karl Malone and racist fans. You get this type of rebrand. They need an identity change ASAP because it's disgusting. I could not be a
Yeah.
Jazz fan if this is what my team looked like going out on the
Mm-mm.
court.
Yeah, that is a great shot. That might be the team that needs a rebound the most.
And they just
Like
rebranded.
they
Like,
just did, and they need to do it again. Because that when I saw that last season, I'm like, yo, what are they cooking in
uh,
Utah, bro? Because
nothing.
that is terrible. The highlighter jerseys, bro, no.
They're disgusting. Like they
Oh,
cooked with no seasoning. Like that's a
no, see.
Caucasian fan base.
That's a it's Utah.
Yeah, it's Utah. Like come on now. Like
Maybe that's why they just said, you know what? We're gonna make it as Utah as it can get,
yeah,
bro.
and dude, they didn't even put no salt and pepper. That's how bad it is. Like there's
That's how
literally
bad it
no
is.
seasoning in Utah.
No
It's
seasoning,
disgusting.
bro.
It's shameless.
Utah is definitely the worst one. Easily the worst one.
Dude, like I laugh when I look at the NBA standings. I see this stupid yellow block. Like, why is it a block in the first place? And why is it so bright? It's awful.
It's
And with them
so
like
bad.
having an argument for maybe the most historic or best looking logo ever, the old Utah Jazz in the 90s,
Oh my,
that logo so hard. And the
oh my
mountain
goodness.
jerseys, like, dude, how did we lose this?
What happened to the game out? Well, let me not say that, but what happened? Because they went from those, honestly, I'm not even gonna say it's a hot take. 2000s jerseys are just better.
They are. It's not a hot take. And I hate when people say, oh, you're just laying on nostalgia. You can't move on. They're so much better.
They're
It's
just
not
so
even
much
funny.
better. Like I can name a bunch of teams whose jerseys look better in the 2000s than they do now. The Raptors jerseys, those
Mm.
purple jerseys.
Oh man,
Yo,
I
come
had a Vince
on.
Carter jersey, man.
I want one.
But no, maybe before we move on, is there a
Mhm.
team you could say confidently that their jerseys and logos are better now than they were in the past?
Um, honestly, I think the first one that comes to mind is the Warriors. Like
Yeah,
when I
but
consider
dude, come
the
on. The guy, like when they had like the guy holding the lightning beam or whatever that was, bro, like in
yeah,
the mid 2000s,
yeah.
that logo is harder than the current Warriors
You
logo.
think so? I
I
was
think
more so
so.
talking about the jerseys because the jerseys were a
That
little
okay,
weird.
yeah, that I agree with.
Like the dark blue, dark orange thing was a little
Yeah.
weird. But now I think their color scheme is way better. I like the color scheme, and they've had some really nice jerseys over the past few years.
Uh-huh.
So I'll say the Warriors in terms of that. But the logo, if we're talking about logos,
Mhm. I have one.
honestly, okay, go ahead.
I think the Mavericks. I'm
Mm.
sorry, when they just had the M with the cowboy hat,
Oh,
that
yeah,
like
yeah.
that logo wasn't hard. And so
No.
I saw a video where they actually didn't like the current Mavericks logo. And I think that's crazy. Like I think the Maverick looks sick.
Wait, have you seen the Mavericks' worst jersey?
All of them?
No, no, no.
Dude, the Mavericks have never produced a good logo. I wanted to pick them as a rebrand, but I just like their logo too much for me to have said that answer.
There's one jersey they put out. I think it was like gray or legit one of the worst jerseys I've ever seen. Let me see if I can find it. But in the meantime,
Uh, yeah, and
I'll
if
let
I
you
can think,
talk.
yeah, if there's another team that I think has had a better rebrand, maybe the Bucks. I think the Buck logo is now more intimidating than the one they had in the early 2000s. That Buck did not look evil at all. That Buck looked friendly. Like that Buck looks like someone that you could like take advantage of. Like that Buck had no like it was not scary at all. This Buck's a little more intimidating.
I don't know how much you could see
Mhm.
it, but
That's
like
disgusting.
it looks
That's
like
that's actually
aluminum
foul.
foil. Looks like
Yeah, no,
aluminum foil,
actually,
bro.
and that's a disgrace. Thank you so much for tuning into this segment of the 5 Out Podcast. I am Joey the Master LeMaster, and me and Everton are so thankful for your guys' support. If you want to keep supporting us, please check out the full podcast on Spotify and follow our TikTok account. Both of those will be in the bio, and make sure to leave a like and stay smooth.